Alright, so I'm here today working on my 2015 F-150. Has the 2.7 liter EcoBoost twin turbo engine, and we're doing spark plugs today. So it's actually only been around 35,000 miles since I last changed these OEM Iridium spark plugs, and the symptom and how I know it's time to do it again is when you first start it cold, just a slight hint of a miss every now and then. When I hooked up my scan tool to the truck, I could see like a 1 misfire count, so nothing major, but that's usually the problem with these, is they really, even though it's a 100,000 mile plug, under the severe conditions of basically constant boost on these engines, it wears the plugs out a lot faster and they get kind of fouled out. So normally I'm a big proponent of using only genuine Motorcraft plugs, but I'm gonna let you know a little secret. NGK makes Motorcraft plugs for these engines, and the plug that I'm using, I'm going to try to get more than the 35 to 40,000 mile life out of the OEM Iridium plug by using these Ruthenium plugs. So these are supposed to be able to withstand this exact situation better than an OEM plug. Again, these are made of something they call Ruthenium. Part number in my case for my 15 is LTR6BHX or 90495. So I bought these on Rock Auto. Be careful when you're buying spark plugs, like I always say in all my videos. If you buy them cheap off of Amazon or eBay, the price is always too good to be true, and these are a heavily counterfeited item that at the worst case could destroy your engine, and at the best case you're going to get only 1,000 or 2 miles before you have to do them again. And this job is just hard enough that you do not want to do it very often. Okay, so to start, we need to remove the cover here. It covers the engine. There's just a couple of 10 mil bolts that have to come off, and we can pop the cover right off. Okay, so what makes this just a little bit annoying on the 2.7 is just all the stuff that's in the way. So I'd say the passenger side's the harder side. You can see our 1, 2, 3 coils right here on the driver's side, which are not too hard to get to. So there's little cap covers that hold the wiring harness on. You pop them off. We'll take off this PCV hose on this side. And then over here on the passenger side, it's a little more annoying because there's just more hoses. So we'll take off both PCV lines here and here. Same thing. We'll remove any wiring that's in the way of pulling the coil out. And the biggest pain is this wiring harness right here that's kind of laid across the back coil, which is down under there. So you just need to loosen this all up as much as you can, and you can kind of just move it out of the way. All new boots, so as long as the coils are fine, it's a good idea to replace these boots. Put a little dielectric grease in them. This truck does have 226,000 miles, completely original turbo engine, transmission, everything, and it runs really good. So I'm trying to keep it that way. I also like to blow everything off, and I'll probably do that again before I actually pull the plugs out. So I've already popped that PCV loose. Yours may look just a little different just because I have a catch can. So it helps you push down on these, and then you push in the little tab and then pull up. So these are the lines that are under my catch can. Little cat claw here works nicely. Kind of pop those up. Okay, I'll do the same thing on the other side. Just get those wiring clips popped up. Right now you'll see under there, there's looks like an 8 mil maybe, 7 or 8 mil bolt, and that's what actually bolts the coil down. And on the coils themselves, I'm just going to do one at a time. Just depress this little lever here, just pop it back. And there's another little clip on the inside I just popped up with the end of this. You can use a small flat blade screwdriver. You can see this coil here is basically exposed now. Alright, so this is 8 mil. So you just take the whole thing out like that. These boots actually look really good. You want to check in there. It's a little pill type thing. That looks completely fine on mine, and that's kind of how it mates up right there. So the new ones come. So you put the spring in just like it shows on here. Take the tape off, and again you want to put a dab of dielectric grease right there and in the end of here to keep these from corroding, which is a bigger problem on like the 6.2 liter trucks, but it could happen to any car with coil unplugged. Alright, so I like to use this Motorcraft electrical grease. But I suppose whatever you have. Take this, push it down. And like if you look at the originals, it's down in there quite a ways. So I just take the screwdriver, pushed it down in there. You can see it comes pretty much flush with the surface. You want to make sure that when you put that in there that you don't pinch it and it goes inside the boot. Just kind of twist this thing all the way down until it seats. So as far as plugs go, so I've got this spark plug socket. It's 5/8. These are preset at, I think it's 0.32. So you just want to double check your gap with a feeler. Make sure that this didn't get dented in. If so, carefully bring it back out. But you really don't, you gotta be really careful because you don't want to mess up that tip. Right, again, right before I take the plug out, just make sure nothing's down in there. That's a good idea to take a peek. Alright, so here's what a 35,000 mile OEM Motorcraft plug looks like. So you can see, I mean, the tip's still there. They get ugly kind of quick. So here's the old plug next to the new plug. I've got it locked in there. I start it by hand. Make sure I've got good thread engagement. I spin it down as far as I can. That's why they have this textured design on here. And there's no reason to put any anti-seize or anything. They have a coating on them just for this reason. See, so these engines aren't known for having any problems like the older 2-valve modular engines or anything for spinning plugs, but you want to make sure they're properly torqued. I've just done this a lot of times. You don't know what the torque spec is, look it up. So that one is done. So take our rebuilt plug, coil, whatever. Make sure it seats properly all the way down. Clicks and then push in the lock like that. And there's one of 6. I'll go ahead and get that one done, then I'll show you the hard one with the wiring. Alright, so for this back one, which is kind of the most difficult, especially because you have this coolant crossover hose, you're just gonna work around it. So what I mean by that is I can get with my ratchet, I can get it on here, so I can definitely get that loose, I can get my little flat blade screwdriver in there. Then you're just going to work it up and pull up on this wiring harness and kind of sneak that boot out of there. I am leaving the plug that I just changed in front of it, the wiring off for now, just so it allows some movement in that harness. Come on, bolt. I'm just gonna work this out of here. Gonna sneak it out the side. Okay. So this is a really nice extension to have because it's got a built-in swivel. I think I want to come in behind that coolant hose. Yep. Make sure that's engaged. Where this ratchet comes in really nice. And there we are. Okay, I'm going to check my cap, which is good. Behind the hose. And do this by hand. Okay. I'll have a link for this in the description because this is like a must. Now, the fun part, trying to snake this thing back down in there. Actually, it goes in a bit easier than it came out. Before I forget, I'm going to plug that connector in. Engage the lock. I'm going to plug this one in front of it. Locked. Zoom this back in. Alright, so now go ahead and put our lays back in. Now we'll re-engage our PCV lines. Alright, everything looks good. So, passenger side is officially done. Now we're gonna move on to the driver's side. Alright, so I don't know about you, but I just really like doing the hard side first. Alright. So if I haven't mentioned it, this is a really good engine design from Ford. It's like they just learned from all the past engines. Just built a really stout vehicle in this 2.7, even though it was the base model engine. And I know there's a lot of 5-liter diehard lovers out there, but to me this is the best engine. I mean, you can get 20 miles per gallon even on my 2015. And again, it's got 226,000 miles. It's basically all original. It's just little electrical things that start to go bad with that many miles, but the engine itself is solid. And of course, the notorious turbocharger, you know, wastegate rattle. But once you get used to it, that's just where it's at. All right, so we got 2 more. These 2 are pretty easy to get to. All right, so I'm working on this last one. It does help tremendously to remove this PCB plug here, if it will play along. Yep. Alright, just get this plugged back in. Alright, so the last thing to do is to fire it up, make sure everything runs good. That's perfect. So cold start, slight miss is completely gone. Runs like a brand new truck. That's all there is to it. So again, it looks a little more intimidating than it is, but changing the spark plugs in your 2.7 EcoBoost F-150 is totally doable for the DIY. Take your time. It takes about an hour or 2 and you'll save a ton of money. I'll have links in the description for everything I used. As always, thanks for watching. If the video was helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, leave a comment if you have a question. I have a whole series in this playlist on maintenance on this 2015 and up F-150, especially with this engine. Thanks for watching. Until next time, we'll see you later.